Imagine being so strong you could survive a nuclear explosion, but so unlucky that people still scream, stomp, spray, and vacuum you into oblivion just for saying hello. Sounds like the craziest life ever, right? Well, welcome to the life of a cockroach. And wait until you hear how they survive losing their heads. You won't believe it. Just think about it for a second. Being able to walk through fire, survive disasters, and live in the harshest places on Earth. But the moment you peek your head into someone's kitchen, boom, slammed with a slipper or sprayed with toxic chemicals. It's not just bad luck. It's a full-time battle for survival, every single day, from morning until night. And trust me, their story gets even crazier the deeper we go. Have you ever felt like no one appreciates you, even when you try your best? Well, that's exactly what it's like to be a cockroach. From the second they hatch, cockroaches are fighting to stay alive, not against just spiders or bigger bugs, but against humans with giant shoes, sprays that burn their skin, and machines that suck them up like a hurricane. In fact, a young cockroach barely even has time to figure out how to walk straight before it has to start dodging deadly traps and sneak attacks. Today, we're diving deep into the world of cockroaches, those tiny survivors who can outlive almost anything except human fear. These little creatures didn't choose to be gross or scary. They're just trying to live like everyone else. Imagine growing up and realizing the world thinks you're a monster just because you're small and brown. And by the end of the story, you'll realize being born a cockroach is not just unlucky. It's a daily nightmare. Stick around. What happens to them is way crazier than you can imagine. And trust me, you're not going to want to miss what happens when they lose their heads, because it's going to leave you shocked. Why this sucks? 1. Born into a world that hates you. The moment a cockroach is born, it's already an enemy. Nobody says, "Ah, how cute," when a cockroach appears. Instead, it's, you get it, kill it. Before a baby cockroach even figures out how to walk straight, it's already running for its life. They don't get birthday cakes. They don't get baby blankets. They get rolled up newspapers and gallons of bug spray. Imagine if every birthday party you had ended with people chasing you with brooms. Even if they don't do anything wrong, even if they're just chilling in a corner minding their own business, they still get treated like invaders. It's like being blamed just for being born. And if you thought it couldn't get worse, just wait. 2. Living in constant fear. You know that creepy feeling when you think you forgot your homework? Multiply that by 100. That's a cockroach's whole life. They live in dark, dirty places like cracks behind fridges, pipes under sinks, rotten tree logs, piles of old garbage. And even there, they're never safe. Rats want to eat them. Spiders want to eat them. Humans want to squish them. Imagine every time you went to sleep, you had to check if a giant was about to squish you. That's what cockroaches feel every second of their lives. No friends, no safe spaces, only fear. They can't take vacations. They can't relax. They can't even walk across the floor without risking their lives. One wrong move, and it's game over. And what's worse, even when they hide perfectly, humans invent sticky traps, bug sprays, and vacuum hoses to hunt them down anyway. It's like living inside a horror movie, except you are the monster being hunted. 3. Built to survive, but not built for happiness. Cockroaches have some insane survival skills. They can live for a month without food. They can go a week without water. They can hold their breath for 40 minutes underwater. They can survive higher levels of radiation than humans. But none of that helps when a giant human foot is coming down at 100 miles per hour. They were built tough, like tiny little tanks with legs. But even tanks can't beat bad luck. Imagine training your whole life to become a superhero, but the first time you step outside, someone throws a shoe at you and squish. That's it. All that toughness, wiped out by one tiny mistake, showing up in the wrong kitchen. It's like running a marathon for years, only to trip and fall 5 feet before the finish line. Heartbreaking, right? And for cockroaches, that's just Tuesday. Why it matters. You might be wondering, why should I care about cockroaches? They're gross. Well, here's the thing. 1, they are nature's janitors. Cockroaches eat dead plants, rotten food, and garbage. Without them, the earth would be buried under piles of stinky trash and decaying stuff. Imagine your room if you never took out the garbage for 10 years. Now imagine the whole world like that. That's what would happen without cockroaches. They're like the secret cleanup crew. They make sure the world stays healthy and fresh, even if nobody thanks them for it. If cockroaches disappeared, mold, fungi, and dead things would take over the planet. We owe them more than we realize. 2, they help other animals survive. Cockroaches are food for tons of animals. Birds, frogs, lizards, small mammals. If cockroaches disappeared, a lot of these animals would have no dinner. And guess what? If those animals starved, the animals that eat them would starve too. It's like a huge falling domino chain, and it all starts with tiny cockroaches. No cockroaches means no frogs. No frogs means no snakes. No snakes means no hawks. And soon, entire forests would collapse without the tiny bugs keeping the circle of life going. Crazy how important they are, right? 3, they teach us about survival. Cockroaches have been around for over 300 million years, way before humans even existed. They lived through ice ages, volcanic eruptions, meteor strikes, extinction events. They survived what killed the dinosaurs. Meanwhile, humans get a cold and we stay in bed for 3 days. Cockroaches show us what real toughness looks like. They don't give up. They don't run away. They just keep adapting, surviving, and thriving. There's something inspiring about that, even if they creep us out. Shocking facts. Ready to have your mind blown? Because what cockroaches can do is absolutely crazy. 1, they can survive without their heads. If a cockroach loses its head, gross, I know, it doesn't die right away. It just keeps walking around like nothing happened for an entire week. How? They don't breathe through their mouths. They breathe through little holes in their bodies. They don't need a brain to do simple things like walk. They only die because they can't drink water without a mouth. Imagine losing your head and still being late to school because you're wandering around. Scientists have even tested this in labs, and it's true. A headless cockroach just keeps going. It's equal parts awesome and horrifying. 2, they can fit anywhere. Cockroaches can squish their bodies to be as thin as a penny. They can squeeze into cracks and holes you didn't even know existed. Ever wonder how they pop up in the weirdest places? Yeah, that's their super squish powers at work. They can slip through tiny gaps in doors, windows, and walls like magic. It's like having teleportation, but way grosser. 3, they are lightning fast. Some cockroaches can move at 50 body lengths per second. That's like a human running faster than a jet plane. If humans move like that, we could run across an entire soccer field in less than a second. No wonder they disappear before you can even grab the bug spray. It's not that they're trying to be sneaky. They're just built like race cars. 4, they sense danger instantly. Cockroaches have tiny hairs on their legs that can feel the tiniest movement of air. If you even think about moving, they already know you're coming. It's like having superhero spidey sense. But sadly, it just helps them get chased even faster. You can't sneak up on a cockroach unless you move slower than a turtle. They feel the air moving when you lift your foot, and they're out of there before you even blink. 5, some glow in the dark. Yep, some cockroaches, like the luminous cockroach, actually glow. It's super rare and found in deep caves. And don't worry, you won't find glowing cockroaches partying in your kitchen. Scientists believe the glow helps them scare off predators or blend into glowing fungi in caves. Cockroaches. Even cooler than you thought, right? 6, they live longer than you think. A regular cockroach can live up to 2 years if nothing kills it. And in those 2 years, a single female cockroach can have up to 400 babies. That's an entire army from just one mom. Imagine if your mom gave birth to a whole school full of kids. That's what cockroach moms do without even breaking a sweat. No wonder they're so hard to get rid of. The toughest little misfits. So, why does it suck to be born a cockroach? Because even if you're tougher than a superhero, faster than a race car, stronger than radiation, you still get no love, no thanks, no respect, just brooms, sprays, stompers, and screams. Cockroaches are like the secret heroes of the planet, but nobody invites them to the party. They save the earth every single day and get crushed before anyone even says thanks. They don't get awards. They don't get medals. They get stepped on. Next time you see a cockroach, remember, they're not villains. They're just tiny survivors, doing their best in a huge, dangerous world. Maybe, just maybe, they deserve a little more respect. But hey, if one shows up on your toothbrush, it's okay to still scream. Stay curious challenge. Would you rather be a cockroach for one day and face 1,000 dangers? Or be a butterfly for 1 week, but get eaten by a bird at the end? Tell us your choice in the comments. And don't go anywhere. Our next adventure is even crazier than this one.